Here we go. Everywhere you go on the internet, there are terrible people. But there is one little community that I particularly despise, and that is the pickup artist community, also known as the seduction community. What is a pickup artist, I might hear you ask? And to that I say, have you been living under a rock? But if you are woefully unaware, or just completely secure in yourself, I'll tell you. In most cases, a pickup artist is a man who goes around bragging about the amount of women he's managed to sleep with, sometimes with dubious consent, but we'll get into that later, and subsequently scamming people of their money, claiming they can get you too. Some of that sweet, sweet lady juice. This video will focus on male pickup artists who help other males get women, because they are the most prolific, the most problematic, and honestly, the scourge of the internet. Before we begin, my name is Matisse and this is my intro. I don't know, I don't have an intro. Everywhere you go on the internet, you are bound to come across a pickup artist, even if you're not really looking for them. I'm sure you've seen 100 ads pop up before a video that you actually want to watch, and there they are, reminding you just how lonely you are. However, pickup artistry is by no means a new thing, and evidence of these masters of seduction actually dates back to the Roman Empire. So humans have always loved capitalizing on lonely people. So let's jump in and learn how to capture, train, and domesticate your women. I hope you appreciate what I've done here, because my targeted ads are ruined forever. Let's start off with The Attractive Man, possibly one of the most popular pickup artist channels on YouTube right now. The channel is owned by a man named Matt Artisan, who really wants you to know that he was named World's Best Pickup Artist. Who decided this was strangely hard to find, but I found it. It was actually a title bestowed upon him at a conference called iDate, which is a conference for dating professionals. So basically a bunch of other pickup artists gathered around and was like, oh yeah mate, you cracker. So he's totally trustworthy, right? To be fair to him, the advice he gives doesn't seem as harmful as some of the other advice out there right now. So let's take a look at what makes him one of the top artists. Is it his amazing advice that gets the viewers the girl of their dreams right away? Or is it the use of boobs on most of the thumbnails? I guess we'll see. And maybe, just maybe, I'll learn how to become an attractive man.
Have you ever been attracted to a girl for a long time, but she only sees you as a friend? You want her so badly, but it seems like there's nothing you can do because you're stuck deep in the dreaded friend zone.
Ah yes, we're starting off strong with the friend zone. Because nothing could be worse than being friends with a woman. But in all seriousness, I really hate this idea of persistence in the friend zone being something that needs to be conquered, when some people just aren't into you, and that's okay. Look up any pickup artist and odds are they've made a video on the friend zone just like this one. But in reality, most cases when someone's not into you, being persistent and constantly pushing those boundaries is just going to drive them further away. But don't worry, I'm sure our friend Matt has a fully monetized video on just that topic.
Usual, become a little bit more sexual, but not to the extreme. Just do it a little bit, gradually over time, test the waters, see how she reacts. Does she reciprocate, or does she seem to like it? If so, keep amping things up over time, and in a few weeks, it might take a few months, but eventually things will progress into something a lot more intimate.
Either that or she'll become incredibly uncomfortable around you.
As you're flirting with her, teasing her, that should give her some good emotions. You're telling her that she looks sexy or gorgeous, which makes her feel good, of course. She likes that. But then you're taking it away by telling her, no, what are you doing? We're just friends. Stop trying to turn me on. It's weird. And by re-emphasizing your relationship, that she doesn't have a chance with you because you see her just as friends, it's not guaranteed to work, but it could have the same effect that her putting you in the friend zone has on you, making you want to get out. It can make her want to get out of the friend zone.
This video should just be called How to Manipulate People into Doing Something They've Already Told You They Don't Want to Do. Professional babe magnet Matt targets maybe the most insecure people on the internet. The incels. Making videos like, nice is not a turn on, why a-holes get girls and you don't. which play right into their fears of mean old Chad coming and snatching up all the women that are rightfully theirs because they're nice.
Nice is not a turn on to the majority of women. Even though women say, oh, I want to be with a nice guy, even though they like the idea of being with a guy who treats them well. And again, I'm not talking about guys being jerks, but unfortunately, oftentimes that is what women get attracted to. They get attracted to the man that's unavailable, that they can't trust, that sleeps around on them, that steals their money, that doesn't follow through.
Nothing gets me more excited than a man who steals from me.
It's actually pretty darn easy to get a girlfriend. Why? Every heterosexual single girl on the planet wants to get a boyfriend. And most girls that are already in a relationship actually want a new one. What this means is that you're actually in a buyer's market. And when you're in a buyer's market, you have all the power.
Every girl on the planet wants a boy or a new boy. But this contradicts everything else that you're telling. Like, why bother going to get a girl if they're just going to be constantly looking for somebody else?
Actually know what kind of girlfriend you're looking for. It gives you a clear target. Why, you might ask? Well, that girl certainly has hobbies, she has certain interests and lives a certain way and has a specific type. For example, if you like rocker chicks, then going to rock concerts and getting a bunch of tattoos is probably going to help you land that kind of girl. But
Permanently alter yourself to get that one girl you have a thing for.
whatever you do, don't do this.
You know what? The advice may not all be that bad.
First, make sure to look back. Women love a man of action. Alpha males are what attract women the most, so take charge and control.
It's honestly so ridiculous to me that anytime you see a guy on the internet trying to shill a course, they always use the phrase alpha male. The craziest part is it actually works. The alpha male meta is pushed by so many people, so much so that in some cases it's like the only key to their success. This is a bit of an aside, but there is this whole idea that you've got to be an alpha and you've got to live this alpha lifestyle. When really, if everyone's an alpha, nobody is. And the people trying to sell these courses know that. But that won't stop them from trying to sell their product to anything that moves. So let's move on to another questionable figure. The super seducer himself, Richard LaRuina. I hope I said that right. I have no idea. Before his move to, I suppose, game maker extraordinaire, he was out there making videos and shilling his self-published books like everyone else. However, he was arguably one of the ones that paved the way for the rest of the seducers, at least on this platform, because he was making videos all the way back in 2009. I don't know, but I feel like there's only so many ways you can describe how to get in her pants. I'd get sick of repeating myself. My favourite thing about Richard is he uses women as props in his videos, but you'd think he'd be able to afford better actors because these ones clearly don't want to be there. Let's have a look at some of his flawless seduction techniques, shall we?
And this is going to be a common thing when you meet girls with boyfriends. First thing is there's a rule is that you should never ask if she's single or not. Just assume she is. If she's giving you her number, if she's giving you her attention, if she's smiling and having a conversation with you, you might as well assume she's single up until the point where she says that she isn't.
If a woman smiles at you or speaks to you, she's single. Remind me never to get in a conversation with Richard. I don't want to give him the wrong idea.
Obviously, when you're having that initial interaction and she asks your age, this is a moment where she could get it set in her mind, oh, is this guy too old? Maybe he's too old for me. So it's very important in this situation for you to be the one to frame it, and you could say something like, how old are you? And when she answers, you could say, maybe you're too young for me. That, are you mature? Do you, and you have some questions that qualify her. Then in her mind, she's going to be thinking, am I kind of grown up enough for this guy?
So manipulate her? Got it.
Hey guys, it's Rich, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about something very cool. It's outsourcing your love life to girls.
I'm sorry. Outsourcing all the hard work onto other women? No, I think he's probably right. I could probably pick up way more ladies than he could.
The hardest part is finding the girl, training her, and finally making sure that she's happy.
Training her? Like you train a pet?
We want too many guys inside. Sometimes we'd be standing there in the rain and we'd go in.
It's honestly good to know that she is also distracted by the sheer amount of buttons on that shirt. Why are there so many?
Another example, let's say you're talking about movies, pretty common theme, and it turns out that she watched a movie recently that's not especially intelligent. So, you know, it's a Marvel film or something with a simple plot.
That's maybe a worse take than his views on women.
And you're going to accuse her of not understanding it. You say, you didn't really understand it, did you? She'll be like, yeah, of course I did. No, you didn't. Look, I'm going to explain it to you. And, you know, take an example like Star Wars. You're going to say, right, so how it was, okay, you had the good guys, they're the Jedi, and then the bad guys, you know, Darth Vader and whatever. And bad guys building this big thing, it can blow up planets, and the rebels need to stop it, steal the plans, you know, go there, blow it up, and that's what happened. So do you understand it now, if you got it?
I'm sure she'd love that. Another one of these masters of seduction is Russell Hartley, who rose to infamy last year and was named Misogynist of the Year, which I believe is a pretty fitting title. He's less of a relationship coach and more of a here's how to pump and dump coach. As well as giving truly terrible advice, he's also the type to brag about how many women he's left unsatisfied. Although I'd be willing to place a bet that most of them are made up. Just disclaimer, here is where we get into some potential issues of consent and race. So if that makes you uncomfortable, please skip to the next chapter. Look after yourself.
When girls drink, they start to really loosen up. I mean, the next thing you know, they're dancing like strippers, or they're making out with each other. And
Genius plan, get her drunk, it's so much easier.
I spied on the other side of the table a blonde Asian girl with fake cherries making out with one of her friends, and I'm like, perfect. And a 6'1", well-dressed white guy hitting on a Blasian is like shooting with a handicap. I mean, it's child's play.
This is maybe the skeeviest thing I've seen so far, and the craziest thing is, it's still up on the internet, no issue. But to be fair, TikTok isn't the best at keeping their creators accountable.
The blonde Big Melons stripper. Now, mind you, I'm living with my other girlfriend in James Island at the same time this is going on, and Delia has no idea.
If you want to date two people at once, be open about it. Don't force people into a relationship that they didn't sign up for.
I don't know what it is about me and strippers, but I go through these phases where that's my type.
I don't know, maybe because you can pay them to be around you?
If you watch some of my previous videos, you already know I've been in throuple situations, I've been in polyamorous situations, I've been in serious, long-term monogamous relationship situations. I mean, you name it, I've been there.
Sure you have, sure.
To be a true bachelor, you gotta build what I call a stable. A stable is a rotation of women that you have available to you that you can hit up and they can go on dates with, hang out with, do stuff in the bedroom with, all of that. And you're not dating any of these women, you're still just sort of talking.
So this is where things really set off for him. Every YouTuber and their dog was making a video criticizing him. News outlets were calling him out. But what was done about it? I'll tell you what, nothing. The video is still there, and if you look in the comments, it's just full of men thanking him for his advice and asking for more.
So what this means if you're a bachelor is that every time you have sex with a new woman, that's a new mare in your stable. And you want to keep doing this. You're going to have mares coming in and out of your stable. And the reason why they go out is because eventually you get to that conversation where it's like, so where's this going? And the reason why you have multiple mares in your stable is so that you can determine which one's a thoroughbred.
Sorry, what?
It's actually a huge sexual obligation. I mean, it seems like, oh, that sounds great, right? Wrong. Because if you're seeing 3 or 4 women simultaneously and you're busy, you have a job, you have a business or something, because when you do finally see them, you have to hook up with them because they're going to think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with you, or worse, they're going to go on and find some other guy.
And this right here is why people keep coming to him for advice and keep paying for his courses. He cultivates this fantasy that lonely men would just kill to have. All of his little how I dated a stripper stories just build on this and leave people desperately clutching for what he has. Or at least what he says he has.
And I know how this sounds, ladies, but trust me, I'm a romantic.
I trust him about as much as I trust Jeffrey Dahmer not to eat me.
I know what a lot of you are thinking, which is, why not just meet a woman and then date a woman as soon as you meet her, and then that's the deal. You just go on down that road, which is a perfectly viable road. I mean, go for it. Have fun. The only problem with that method is that you might start dating a woman and shut out all your other options. And then what happens is that a year later, you come to find out that this woman is a horrible, toxic, terrible person for you.
Like you?
Women are juggling men far more than you would believe. That's why they all use Snapchat. Snapchat's straight up for hoeing. That's it. So they're going to tell you all right now that women are bigger players than men by far. Oh? What's that? You don't believe me? Bust open any girl's Instagram DMs right now and you're going to see her talking to 20 different dudes. Mark my word.
And this right here is his justification for objectifying and disrespecting women. This false narrative that women will just play you and use you, so you may as well do the same to them. Which in some cases may be true, but when attributed to women in general is just undeniably false.
Over here, let me pull back the curtain on another truism that might not be so obvious. All of these posts that women make on Instagram and TikTok where they're just presenting to men are just for them trying to source prospective mates, just like chimpanzees in the wild.
Again, dehumanizing women so that his advice doesn't sound so bad. But not only is this negatively affecting women, but it's also how these artists scam their customers. And I'll get into that in a second, because while there is nothing wrong with helping people better themselves, when that help harms a whole group of people, as well as the people you're claiming to help, that's when there's a problem. When it comes down to it, do I believe we should purge these top shaggers from the internet? Well, the answer is a definite yes. While some of this advice may be able to be passed off as innocuous or well-meaning, when it comes down to it, they don't really care about helping people out. They care about a paycheck. Now, that's not to say that using any skill you have to make money is a bad thing, although harassing women doesn't quite seem like a skill to me. Capitalizing on lonely people requires one thing: a market of lonely people. Now, if these pickup artists were able to set you up with a harem of women, as they claim to be able to do, their work would be done, and they'd stop profiting off you, whether that's courses, books, or that sweet, sweet YouTube ad revenue. If you haven't caught on yet, what I'm implying is that their confidence in front of the camera and the array of beautiful women in the background that are clearly paid to be there just hides the fact that they're giving truly horrendous advice which plays into people's biggest fears. If these tips were to fail, which they inevitably will, where will the victim of a pickup artist be? Right back to another video to see where they went wrong. Buying up books to better their skills. And the cycle continues. Pickup artists may be a scam, but do you want to know what's not a scam? Subscribing. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which I know may be a long shot, but a girl can dream. Also, consider leaving a like. I will use them to soothe the headache that is currently brewing after watching all of that garbage. Check out all of my links down below to find my other socials, and consider becoming a patron if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.